Final update. We hadn't talked for a year. Suddenly my dad wrote me, "Let's forget our grievances, come to dinner." I came. There were tears, laughter, hugs. "We miss you," my sister said. Then I accidentally opened their family chat. Okay, he believed me. The next step is to re-register the house. I smiled and said nothing. After 3 weeks, karma hit hard. They begged me nonstop, "Please help." My mom sent me a voice note, crying, rambling, saying she couldn't believe I'd abandoned my own family. I didn't reply. Instead, I sent one message to the group chat they created just for me. "I warned you not to push me. You took my kindness for weakness. Now you'll see what silence feels like." I blocked the group right after. That weekend, I took the paperwork from my lawyer, the whole file, and put it in a safe deposit box, just in case. Not because I planned to press charges, but I wanted the option. Word got around. A cousin messaged me, saying he heard I cut off my whole family. I told him not to believe everything he hears, but I didn't deny it. The truth was, I didn't feel guilty. I felt clear. And they were unraveling without my help. Every time they tried to manipulate someone else, it backfired. My mom called a family friend asking for a loan. The woman told her she needed to ask me. My dad tried to talk to a former coworker about staying at their place, got turned down. Ellie crashed at a friend's apartment for a while, but even that didn't last. Karma didn't wait long. It hit fast. And the thing is, I didn't lift a finger. They were falling apart all on their own. 3 weeks after that last message, I was driving home from work when I saw them, my parents, standing outside the gate again. No car, just standing there like statues, unsure if they were waiting for me or if they didn't know where else to go. I slowed down, made eye contact, then drove right past them. Didn't stop, didn't wave. By the time I parked and looked out the window, they were gone. That night, Ellie called from a different number. I answered, mostly out of curiosity. She asked if I just listened for a second. Said she wasn't calling to defend anyone, just wanted me to know what was happening. Apparently, after I shut them out, they tried everything. Mom called relatives she hadn't spoken to in years, painting herself as the victim. Most didn't bite. Dad sold a few things from the garage, scraped together enough to cover part of the rent, but it was too late, the eviction notice had already been served. Ellie moved in with a friend from college, but her friend had rules, no guests, no overnight family, no drama, which meant she couldn't help mom and dad. She didn't ask me for money, she asked me to just talk to mom. I said I'd think about it, then I hung up. I didn't think about it. What I did instead was drive to their old house the next morning, just to see it empty, trash bags piled by the curb, the windows bare, no curtains, no life. It was surreal. A year ago, I would have done anything to feel like we were a family again. A few weeks ago, I walked into that house and thought I had it. Now it was a shell, just like their version of love. When I got back, I found an envelope taped to my front door, no name, no address, just taped in the center like a note from some ghost. Inside was a handwritten letter from my mom, pages and pages of everything, some apology, some blame, some begging, some rewriting of history. She said they only pushed so hard because they were scared, because they felt left behind, because they were desperate. She ended it with a single sentence, "We were wrong, but we're still your family." I folded the letter, put it back in the envelope, and tossed it in a drawer I never opened. I didn't respond, because by now I saw it for what it was, not guilt, not clarity, just another strategy, another swing at control. A few days later, Ellie messaged me again. This time, the tone was different. "They're staying at a motel. They're out of money. Mom's health isn't great. I know you don't owe us anything. I just thought you should know." I stared at the message for a while. I didn't respond. They weren't just in trouble now, they were crumbling. My dad was too proud to ask anyone else. My mom had burned too many bridges. Ellie, caught in the middle, was finally seeing the damage clearly. But it was too late. They thought I was a safety net. Turns out, I was the last rope they had, and they lit it on fire. It was pouring the last time they showed up. I was working late, had a conference call on mute when the security notification popped up on my screen, motion detected at the front gate. I opened the camera feed without thinking. There they were, all three of them, soaked through, no umbrella, just standing there like some scene from a bad dream. My mom clutching a wet handbag, Ellie with her arms wrapped around herself, my dad staring directly into the lens like he knew I was watching. They didn't buzz the intercom, not at first. They just stood there. Then Ellie stepped forward, pressed the button. I didn't answer. After a full minute, my mom knocked, not even on the door, just on the metal gate. The sound echoed through the monitor like it was happening in my own chest. I didn't move. I just watched. Eventually, Ellie pulled out her phone and called me. I answered, said nothing, just listened. She whispered one word, "Please." That was it. I hung up and killed the feed. 15 minutes later, I checked again. They were gone. And just like that, the final thread snapped. That was the moment, not the betrayal, not the lies, not the fake dinner or the staged tears. It was that rainy day when they came back one last time with nothing left to hide behind, and I still couldn't open the door. Not because I was angry, because I was done. The next morning, I packed every item they'd left in the house, Ellie's charger, my mom's tea stash, the throw blanket my dad insisted on keeping on his chair. I put it all in a single box, taped it shut, and left it at the edge of my property with a simple note inside. "This is all that's left. Don't come back." I never saw them again in person, but word traveled. Ellie moved in with someone in Denver. She took a job at some co-op kitchen. She sent one last message, something between apology and explanation. I didn't know it would go that far. I thought it was just a way to get close again. I didn't expect them to do that. I didn't reply. My mom and dad were worse off, way worse. A neighbor from their old street told me they tried to move into a rundown trailer a few towns over but couldn't even scrape together the down payment. My dad sold the last decent tools said he had for rent money. My mom started calling people she hadn't spoken to in years, people she used to mock, trying to borrow a few hundred at a time. No one helped. They started showing up in church basements and food pantry lines, places they used to call for people who don't work hard enough, the kind of people they used to judge out loud in public. They became those people, and I didn't feel anything. Because this wasn't some karmic fairy tale, this was just the ending they wrote for themselves. When you treat someone like a bank account, don't be surprised when the funds dry up. I never wanted revenge. I just wanted peace. I got that. I kept the house, changed the locks, installed new cameras, filed a legal notice with my attorney that they were no longer welcome on the property, and if they ever showed up again, they'd be trespassing. I even had a formal document drafted outlining the timeline of their actions, just in case I ever needed to hand it to a judge. Sometimes I get asked why I didn't just let it go. The truth? I did. But letting go doesn't mean forgetting, it means recognizing the moment you stop owing people your silence. I think they expected me to fold, to forgive, to play the beautiful son forever. They never imagined I'd walk away and not look back. But I did. And the last gift I gave them was silence. I think it hurt more than anything else I could have done.